Hello and welcome back to the RDA, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I hope you are doing well because I certainly am. It's a magnificent win for Manchester United in dramatic fashion. It was a boisterous start. It could have had a bit more bravado at the beginning, but you know what? Whatever, I'll take the 3 points. It was a boisterous start to the first half and then we kind of fell off a bit and it became very flat. The second half was much similar to the first half. We dominated the first 10 minutes or so and then Wolves kind of came back into it. It was very cagey, was very back and forth. And honestly, a lot of you might have found that very boring, which is expected against Wolves because it's one of our hardest games of the season. But smash that like button if you're as excited as I am, because that was a magnificent performance. It just lacked the final product, in my opinion. It just lacked the final product because we actually did hold the ball a lot. We actually did look like we had some sort of intent. It's just that our plan wasn't working. Like, Wolves played it to perfection. Big respect to Wolves. They played it to perfection. Our crosses were not working because they always had a man out on the flank to stop the crosses, and that nullified our plan A. And then in the second half, Martial came on, Greenwood came off. I think Greenwood didn't really play that well, to be honest. He played the one cross in, but what can you say? He wasn't really getting the ball down that side. Wan-Bissaka wasn't really feeding him that much. Wan-Bissaka was very selfish. I don't know what Wan-Bissaka's game plan was because I don't think he even put in a successful cross. But when Martial came in, I saw a change in the plan. We weren't whipping in as many crosses. We were trying to stretch the defense open and go through the middle. That's what it looked like for me, because Pogba had that shot when he went straight to goal. Martial had that shot that he skied in the middle. Bruno also tried to take a shot and it deflected off of one of the Wolves defenders. There was a lot of shots taken in that second half, and you could clearly see the change of plan. It didn't work. It wasn't a tactical masterclass at all. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer definitely has some massive questions to answer for. But in general, I think it was an okay performance. I really do. And if you're asking me, personally, on a scale of 1 to 10, how boring that was, I think if it wasn't for that scintillating finish, it was nearly a 10 out of 10. It was nearly a 10 out of 10 because that felt like I was watching a chess match. But yeah, I think David De Gea was nearly going to be my man of the match. But how can you give it to David De Gea? How can you give it to Eric Bailly? You have to give it to Marcus Rashford. MBE, more like MVP. More clinical. He needs to be more clinical. My ass, get in the bin. Why does the left winger need to be more clinical? Why don't we create more chances for our striker? Why isn't Greenwood more involved? Why isn't Martial more involved this season? Why was Cavani dead this game? Why was Paul Pogba dead this game? Why was Maguire dead this game? Why did Alex Telles come off? You know, I think it was probably because of the injury. My point is, a lot of people have been criticizing Rashford lately like he's the biggest problem in this team, when actually he's been one of our premier goal scorers, and I don't get the hate towards him. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I'm gassed. I'm absolutely gassed because that's a massive 3 points. In context of our season, I believe that plummets us up to up to second in the table, and we're just behind Liverpool. Not only that, but I do want to say that this was a massive game because we have struggled against teams that play a low block. If you look at all the teams that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer struggled to beat in the Premier League, it hasn't been the top 6 teams. It hasn't been the Leipzigs. It hasn't been the PSGs. It's been the Istanbuls away. It's been the Burnleys away. The Burnleys at home. It's been the Aston Villas. It's been the Wolves. You know, so these are games that we definitely need to win more often, and we are starting to show that we are a team. We are a force to be reckoned with. Whether or not we're genuine title contenders, let's see what happens. If we're 2 points, 3 points away from Liverpool when we play them at Anfield and we actually go on to beat them, then I will change my tune. But until then, I don't know. Also, one more huge talking point. I think Eric Bailly played magnificent today. I think his pace definitely bailed us out quite a few times. And I just want to say that Victor Lindelof getting injured is never a great thing. Harry Maguire getting injured is never a great thing. But when one of them is out and it forces Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to play either Axel Tuanzebe or Bailly, there's always a positive result. How long this positivity will go on, we'll just have to wait and see, because Bailly is not the most reliable and he's not the most consistent. But I think his pace alone gave us an alternative. It gave us an ultimatum. We were able to play a much higher line because every time Wolves tried to hit us on the break, Bailly was there with the pace. You know, Bailly was there. I think Luke Shaw coming on in the second half, I think it was because of the Alex Telles injury, but I think he improved us defensively. I really do. I remember actually he cut off one of their counter-attacks. It was a really good slide tackle in the middle of the park. I can't remember whether it was Ruben Neves or Neto. I think Neto had gone off at that point, but Luke Shaw had a magnificent slide tackle in the middle. So props to Luke Shaw, man. And I think Luke Shaw made sense. Seeing as our crosses weren't working, it forced us to go through the middle. I'm disappointed to not see Donny van der Beek playing in the team. Like, that is still massively disappointing. I thought Paul Pogba was wearing an invisible cloak today. He was Mr. Anonymous today. And this is not about Paul Pogba leaving in the summer. I already said in my preview that I prefer Paul Pogba starting because clearly Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has moved on, and clearly Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to play this guy, you know? So this is not about slating Paul Pogba. I genuinely think he was just very invisible today. Besides that shot, he didn't really do much, and besides a few cross balls, a few balls across the field, which Marcus Rashford played as well, I didn't see anything magnificent from him or anything above average. In the first half, he looked like a passenger in that first half. Another huge performance by Matic, by the way. That's where I will end this off. Matic absolutely controlled the midfield. He didn't dominate, he didn't grab the game by the scruff of the neck, but hardly most CDMs in the world do. What Matic did was exactly what I want Fred and McTominay to do. Look up. See which is the most beneficial pass. If the pass is too risky, opt to retain possession and pass it back or pass it sideways to the player next to you and let them carry the ball up forward whilst you stall and give everybody space to move up the field. That is what Matic brings. He brings the experience, he brings so much to this team, in my opinion, and I wish more players were as calm and as composed as Matic is. But other than that, I got no complaints, man. The Wolves did stink the place out. Wolves did sit back. Wolves did try to hit us on the break, and it didn't work. You know, David De Gea, man of the match performance. Matic, man of the match performance. Bailey, man of the match performance. But Rashford has to win it for me because he scored the winning goal, and that is the most significant goal of our season, in my opinion. Anyways, I hope you did enjoy that as much as I do. I'll catch you in the next one. I'm lost for words. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.